Excelsior! So today we're going to read Avengers number 7. This was published in August of 1964. The Avengers! Their darkest hour, in which the mighty Avengers battle among themselves, with the Enchantress, the Executioner, and evil Zemo waiting to pick up the spoils. An extraordinary Marvel epic. The Mighty Avengers, Their Darkest Hour, featuring the combined menace of the exquisite Enchantress, the evil Executioner, and the diabolical Dr. Zemo. Magnificently written by Stan Lee. Majestically illustrated by Jack Kirby. Masterfully inked by Chick Stone. Meticulously lettered by Art Simic.
Iron Man, you chose to ignore a call from us 6 days ago.
As seen in Iron Man number 56. So it's actually Tales of Suspense number 56. Editor.
How do you explain that deed?
Better speak up, mister. We're all waiting.
At a special Board of Inquiry section, the Avengers meet to consider a most serious charge brought against one of their own members. Among those present, we find Thor, Giant Man and the Wasp, Captain America and Rick Jones, and the accused Iron Man.
I can offer no defense. I allowed a personal problem to affect my sense of duty.
We are pledged not to pry into each other's personal lives. Yet, if there is something we can do...
No, there is nothing anyone can do.
But, gosh, Iron Man, if you won't level with them, how can the Avengers help?
Too late for that now, Rick. Thor and Giant Man are ready for the vote.
Iron Man, we have reached a decision.
It is a most painful one.
We find you guilty of failing to answer an Avengers alarm.
It's what I deserve, though I can't tell them. I'd almost foolishly decided to quit the Avengers because of my injured heart. But they must never know that I am really Tony Stark, whose life hangs by a thread. You tell them the sentence, Thor.
You are hereby suspended from all Avengers activity and duties for a period of 1 week. You may go now.
At that very moment, an unimaginable distance away in the fabled kingdom of Asgard, home of the legendary Norse gods, a similar scene is taking place, as Odin, Lord of Asgard, thunders.
I banish you both from this realm. You are sentenced to spend your exile upon the planet Earth.
My lord, have mercy upon the executioner and me.
Quiet, Enchantress. We are lucky to escape with our lives for attacking his son, Thor, not long ago.
See Journey into Mystery number 103, Editor.
Let the weapon and the helmet of the executioner be stripped from him.
At least on Earth, I'll be near the handsome Thor again. And then, who knows?
And now, send them both across the Rainbow Bridge to Earth. Odin has spoken. Bah! Among the weak mortals of Earth, why need I have I of my helmet or axe? My power will be supreme. Perhaps there I can manage to finally win the heart of the beautiful Enchantress.
And so, in a ceremony of incredible pomp and pageantry, the evil executioner is divested of his awesome symbolic axe and his almost impregnable helmet, while the exquisite Enchantress allows her thoughts to turn to the mighty Thunder God, whom she has loved for ages. But there is another who watches the scene, with great relief welling up in his scheming heart. It is Loki, the Thunder God's sinister archenemy.
I am fortunate that Odin does not suspect. They were merely following my suggestions when they attacked Thor. My plan may yet succeed. With both of them on Earth, the accursed Thor will never be truly safe.
And so, the Enchantress and the Executioner cross the eternal Rainbow Bridge, beginning their long, dramatic exile upon the planet below. And so it comes to pass.
What's going on here? What's holding up traffic? Who are those two? What are they advertising?
Look, Mac, how you and your lady friend dress in public is your business, so long as you don't break the law. But when you start interfering with the traffic around here...
You dare speak thus to me?
Quiet, you fool. He is a guardian of the law. It is necessary to obey him.
And so, reluctantly, the Executioner allows himself to be led from the scene.
What manner of men are these? None is clad in battle armor.
We have much to learn about the customs of Earth.
See how they stare at me. This causes me great displeasure.
At a gesture from the fearsome-looking warrior, the crowd scatters, instinctively sensing the superhuman power of the stranger in their midst.
Away, puny mortals! Let none crowd about me. Where the Executioner walks, he walks alone. Ah! See how they flee. But they are so numerous. They are as many as the sands on the beach.
This is no good. We do not understand them. We are strangers in a strange world. We need an ally, one to lead us, to fight with us. But who?
And then, fate steps in, as the Enchantress sees a headline on a newspaper beneath her feet. It says, "Leader of the Masters of Evil escapes. Zemo flees country. Defeated by the mighty Avengers, Zemo escaped before he could be captured. It is rumored that he has returned to his mysterious kingdom deep in the jungles of South America."
Perhaps he is the one we seek.
But let us turn our attention now to a gym on the other side of town, where we find the colorful Captain America beginning one of his daily workouts. "Are you sure these are the toughest wrestlers you've got?"
Mister, you'll know it when the ambulance comes for you. But if that's what you want...
All right, boys. I'm paying for this, so give me my money's worth. Let's see some action. Come on, Crusher. Let's get him over with fast. He'll be a push.
Put a little more muscle into it, gentlemen. The enemies I'm liable to meet in the future aren't apt to go easy on me.
Come on, you guys. Get him what he wants. Pile on.
Hey, where'd he go? Look out!
What's happening? He's greased like lightning.
Here, I'll stay still long enough for you to grab me. Now act like you mean it.
Don't worry, bud. We mean it all right. Let's show him he ain't as good as he thinks, Moose.
I'm with you, Crusher. Give him the old 1-2.
Careful, boys. This is a new maneuver I've dreamed up. Here it goes. Minutes later. Thanks, fellas. Same time tomorrow?
You kidding? If we want any more action, we'll get it in the ring, where it's safe.
Later, as the indomitable adventurer returns to his quarters with his young friend, Rick Jones. All my training, all my skill, and still, I was unable to save Bucky years ago. See the Avengers #4, editor.
Say, Cap, look what I just found tucked away in one of the closets. Isn't this the outfit your ex-partner, Bucky, used to wear? Look how it fits me. Anyone would think I'm your partner. Cap, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me that way?
Take it off. I never told you to wear it.
But, Cap, what's bugging you? I didn't do anything. Gosh, I didn't know you were going to get angry. All I did was...
I said take it off. Don't ever call yourself my partner again. I lost my partner. I'll never forget myself for letting it happen. And I'll never let it happen again. Do you think I could bear it if anything happened to you too? I'll never have another partner. I won't be responsible for another life. Never. It was Zemo who caused Bucky's death. I'll never rest till I've found him. Do you hear? Zemo will pay for what he's done. And, even as the vengeful Captain America speaks, the man he's referring to sits on a crude throne, deep in the wilds of a South American jungle, where he reigns as undisputed ruler.
From this day on, I'm raising the taxes you must collect for me. Don't just stand there, you worthless fools. Go to the tribes. Start collecting my tribute. That is Zemo's command. Faster. I must have treasure. More and more treasure. I must buy weapons, troops, equipment. Before I'm finished, the whole world will pay homage to Zemo, the king.
And then, as the evil tyrant examines the wealth in his treasure room,
Zemo, you are the one we seek.
What? Who are you? How did you get here? She is the Enchantress, and I, the Executioner. Another one. Stay back. No one can have my treasure. Mortal fool. Your so-called treasure is meaningless to us.
It will do you no good to rage against us. Our visual images are here. Our real selves are in the city called New York. We have come to ask you to join forces with us. We know that Captain America is your mortal enemy. We can help you defeat him. Our power is greater than his. And in return, you can help us get our revenge upon Thor.
By thunder, I'll do it. My other two allies, the radioactive man and the melter, are still in the hands of the police back in America.
see the Avengers #6, editor.
But with two such as you beside me, I can still accomplish anything. We'll begin immediately. So be it. My limbs first for combat.
Somehow, some way, I've got to think of a scheme to make the mighty Thor mine.
Sometime later, Giant Man and the Wasp prepare for a short journey to New England to begin a scientific investigation of insect life.
We won't be gone too long. If you need us, use our special radio wavelength to reach us.
You can reach him poking around in anthills. As for me, I'll be shopping in some of those fabulous Cape Cod antique stores.
You'll be typing my research notes, young lady, or else you can stay behind.
You, sir, are about as romantic as the rotor blade in this silly old plane.
Do not be late for our next meeting. Iron Man will be with us again. Now, I too must return to other matters. And so, my friends, until our next meeting, farewell.
Boy, you really blow up a storm with that hammer of yours, Thor.
Stand back, Rick. Give him some room.
Looks like some guys will do anything to save plane fare. Right, Cap?
We mustn't joke about such a man. We're privileged to call him friend.
Later, as the colorful masked Avenger and his young companion take a shortcut through the park, they are unaware of a grim-faced, silent stranger who has been patiently stalking them.
I have timed it perfectly. This is the correct moment. Now to show myself. I didn't know anyone was in that thicket. Usually, I can hear the slightest footfall. It takes a very special person to catch me by surprise.
Captain America, I must speak with you. It is a most important matter. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hans Gruberwelt, formerly second in command to the infamous Dr. Zemo. Anyone who is associated with Zemo is an enemy of mine. That makes you an ex-Nazi criminal, too. Wait! You must not lose your temper. I have come to repent, to undo some of the harm I did in the past.
Easy, Cap. You can't just go around fighting guys because they used to be Nazis.
He's more than just an ex-Nazi. He's my one chance to find Zemo again. Where is he hiding? Talk!
That's why I have searched for you, to tell you. The evil Zemo has carved a small empire in an uncharted area of the Amazon jungle. I can tell you how to find it.
Seconds later, after the man who calls himself Hans Gruberwelt has finished talking, that's all I need to know. Nothing can save Zemo from me now. Cap, wait! You remain here, Rick, at Avengers Headquarters, Control Center, or Central. What I must do now, I must do alone.
It worked, and so the trap is sprung. The one called Giant Man will be away for days. Iron Man 2 has left the scene. And I have lured Captain America to a far distant land. That means only Thor remains. Now he will have to face the Enchantress and the Executioner alone.
Later,
Thor.
what is that strangely haunting call I hear? It is coming from below, from down there. It is the Enchantress.
My spells are as potent as ever. This time I shall triumph.
Then, before the mighty Thunder God can shield himself,
Your will is my will. I am your master. You must obey the Enchantress. So great is his power that my spell will only last for brief minutes. But once I reinforce it with a special brew, it will last long enough to suit my purposes. Drink, handsome one. Drink deep, noble Thor. I've done it. The rest is child's play for me. And, with the Avengers safely gone, there will be none to interfere, none to help him until my spell is complete.
in the time that follows, the exquisite Enchantress, aided by the effects of her powerful potion, weaves one of the strangest spells ever recorded as she conjures up images of the Avengers for the captive Thor, images which make him see them as evil, dangerous menaces. Then she causes him to see himself as the only avenging hero capable of halting the threat of the Avengers. He thinks of himself as mankind's last hope in battling the mighty super team. Over and over, the image is repeated, growing stronger each time, until it is virtually branded into the Thunder God's subconscious, until he feels he must save humanity by battling the attacking Avengers.
And now, my work is done. When Thor awakens, he will feel that the Avengers are his mortal enemies. Soon, there will be a battle such as the planet Earth has never known. And, when it has ended, I shall devote all my talents, all my energies, to making this most desirable of living beings become my own beloved. Awake, Thor! There is much for you to do, Thunder God. The planet Earth holds many enemies of mankind, many enemies of yours. Do you know who they are?
Of course, though they have posed as my friends, now I truly know them for what they are.
But what of these friends of Thor's? One of them is bailing out over a dense, uncharted part of the Amazon jungle at that very moment.
Wherever you are, Zemo, I'll find you.
And hate-filled eyes watch from the thicket below.
The executioner was as good as his word. Now to prepare for Captain America's final defeat.
At an Imperial signal from Zemo, a concealed launching site is uncovered, and a complex, gas-filled missile heads for the unsuspecting shootist. But, although he was taken by surprise, the battle-honed brain of the man, whom the world calls Captain America, devises a protective plan almost instantaneously.
Gas! I've got to pull my chute down around me. Fast! The tightly woven nylon cloth will shield me from the fumes. But I've got to break out before I land. It'll require split-second timing.
Then, at the last possible instant, a slashing, sharp-edged shield cuts its way through the cloth, and...
Here it comes! The moment of impact!
Twisting his supple body like an aerialist in flight, guiding himself towards the softest, thickest cluster of leaves, the gallant Avenger crouches behind his sensational shield, letting it absorb the initial brunt of collision.
Whoosh! I did it!
Seconds later...
Oh no! I didn't go through all that, only to be beaten by some aborigine with a pop gun. Here's a little message you can take back to your master. Tell him it's from Captain America.
I never dreamed he'd give such a good account of himself, but he must be stopped. After him, get his shield. Do as your monarch commands. Get his shield!
Can't waste time with these unknowing pawns. I've got to get to Zemo. But first, I'll snare my shield before they get it.
Vaulting to the spot with blinding speed, the astounding Captain America scoops up his shield between his flashing feet. And then,
now to find a soft landing spot again.
But, unexpectedly, he crashes through a primitive, camouflaged, big game trap.
What? There's some sort of pit below me. It's a trap for snaring carnivorous beasts, but it's deep enough to hold a dinosaur. What have I gotten myself into?
Meantime, back in New York, a raging Thor, anxious to battle the Avengers, has radioed Giant Man to return home as soon as possible. And so...
Here comes that jet copter now.
And so, the mighty Thunder God, still under the influence of the exotic Enchantress, prepares to attack his unsuspecting fellow Avengers.
Giant Man and the Wasp are evil. I must defeat them for the good of mankind.
While, aboard the jetcopter...
Why do you think Thor radioed us to return immediately, Hank?
I don't know, Jan, but we'll soon find out. I see him below us. He's coming toward us, but his expression, his face, something's wrong.
Jan, shrink the wasp's flies. On the double. Condition red. Thor's attacking us.
A split second later, shattered by the force of the Thunder God's hammer, the jetcopter falls apart as the Wasp flies to safety, while Giant Man causes himself to grow to his largest possible size, thereby having the smallest possible distance to fall.
I saved myself by becoming 40 feet high, but I've overextended myself. I'm too big,
too weak while this size. I'm even too weak to quickly reduce my size. And here comes Thor. All I can do is flip myself out of his way till I can learn what this is all about. He must have gone mad.
And, not far away, Anthony Stark recharges his life-giving chest device as he watches a TV show at home. I never realized how much being an Avenger meant to me. I can't wait till my period of banishment is over, and I'll be able to rejoin my fellow adventurers. Then, suddenly, he hears, "We interrupt this program with an urgent bulletin. The mighty Thor has run amok in the heart of the city. At this very moment, he is battling Giant Man, one of his former allies. No one seems to know." Moving like a man possessed, the handsome millionaire switches off his set and dons the most famous suit of armor in the free world.
Banishment or no banishment, the time has come for Iron Man to enter the scene again.
Meanwhile, as Giant Man's overtaxed, oversized muscles begin to wilt under the superhuman strain imposed upon them, Thor closes in for the final blow.
I've got to find a way to save Hank.
But before the awesome hammer can strike, the wonderful wasp buzzes around the entranced thunder god, distracting him until...
At last! Here comes help!
And indeed help is at hand, in the dramatic glistening form of the powerful Iron Man.
I've got to get Thor off balance. Only the concentrated blast from my magnetic repulsor can do it.
Iron Man! What is it? Why is Thor attacking us? What happened while we were gone?
I don't know, Wasp, but I won't rest until I've found out.
And, from a nearby vantage point, the two strange newcomers to Earth, who are responsible for the melee watch, with sinister satisfaction.
Perfect. Perfect. Sooner or later, they'll destroy each other. Just as Zemo will destroy Captain America.
But will he? I'd better make sure all is going well with our mortal partner. How fortunate that Odin did not take all my powers from me. Here on Earth, there are still many forms of enchantment at my command, such as this one.
Bah! Zemo is a fool. Look! Captain America still lives. He is trapped at the bottom of a pit, but he is still alive.
He must not escape, although it strains my power to the near breaking point. I must try to reach him. It's working. I can feel it. Just another minute more, and I'll cause a cave-in that pit, sealing him within it.
But, having been trained in the fire of many battles, the colorful Crusader quickly turns every new danger into his own advantage.
By protecting myself with my shield, I'll soon be able to use these falling rocks to get out of here.
And finally, when the cave-in has ended,
perfect. There are just enough rocks to give me a chance to climb to the surface. And now, to settle accounts with the murderous Zemo.
But Zemo has noticed Captain America's new appearance, and quickly barks an order.
The Vibragon! Faster, you lazy tolts! Hit him with the Vibragon!
However, the most skillful fighting man of our time, trained to make use of anything he finds on the field of battle, quickly seizes the top of a giant, flexible palm, bending it back as far as it will go.
I've only seconds in which to strike, but those seconds are all I need. So far, so good. Now to reach that Vibragon before his men recover.
Flee! The masked one fights like a demon!
Come back, you jackals! You can't desert me now! Back, I say! But, even as the frantic Zemo shouts in vain, the furious force of his own weapon shatters his primitive palace, bringing it down with a resounding roar. That finishes his palace, and now for Zemo himself. Then, the grim-lipped Avenger turns from the Vibragun, and, first, I'll make sure my shield is firmly magnetized to my usually hidden glove magnets. And now I'll... Wait! The sound of an aircraft beyond those trees. He's trying to escape me again. He's deserting his kingdom, his subjects, heading for the States. But this time, he's going to have an unsuspected passenger. Thanks to the transistor-powered magnets Tony Stark helped me design for my battle shield. Meanwhile, many miles to the north, Iron Man's repulsor power begins to weaken as the mighty Thor breaks his spin by hooking his hammer onto the nearest solid object. It looks bad. Can't hold him at bay much longer. Back on his own 2 feet again, Thor battles with the desperation of one in a trance. You cannot dodge my hammer much longer! But why, Thor? Why are you doing this? Why are you fighting us? However, before the Thunder God can answer, a revitalized giant man, down to his fighting size of 12 feet again, lashes out with the speed of a python.
All right, Thor. It's time for you to do some explaining, mister.
I shall do my explaining with my avenging hammer, which is returning to me even now. Can't stop him from catching it. He's too strong. If he hits me with it, I'm a goner. I'll have to drop down to the ledge below. But before the enraged Thor can give chase, there's only one answer. He must be under some sort of hypnosis, and I have an idea how to break the hypnotic spell. I must time it just right. Catch the sun's reflection at the perfect angle. Now! That blinding light! I can't see! It's working. He's stopped. His eyes are clearing. I knew the light of the sun would dispel any sort of evil hypnotic influence. He's himself again. Iron Man, what are you doing here? Is your week's banishment already ended? And, observing from a safe distance, we find...
We failed. Thor is no longer under my spell.
Bah! It is, as I've already said. Brute strength is the only answer. The strength of the executioner.
I dare not tell him. I feared his strength. Feared he might harm the handsome Thor. Thor, the one I hope will someday be mine.
Look! A ship is approaching! The ship of Dr. Zemo!
Quickly, the Enchantress gestures, and at that instant, a mystic force seems to change the course of Zemo's ship, heading it towards the Avengers.
My ship! It's no longer under my control! Who could have the power to do this?
It is I, the Enchantress. I shall guide you to the Avengers.
There they are. I'll get them all at once with the withering blast of my giant stun gun.
But the evil Zemo is unaware of his passenger, who has ridden the outer shell of the ship all the way from the jungle. Lucky for me, he flew at low level to avoid the probing of the radar. And now, it's time I joined my host before he does any harm with his ship's weapons.
Did you see that? It was Zemo. First he fired at us, then he suddenly changed course. Now that my brain is clear once again, I remember. That female I saw, she was the Enchantress.
Because of her, I fought you. I was entranced.
Executioner, quick! Zemo is in trouble. I used a simple spell to bring the ship here, where you can aid our evil partner. Hurry!
I've waited years for this moment, Zemo, for the revenge I'm now about to extract.
Ha! Mortal fool! You shall have to wait still longer.
With the mere touch of his hand, the Executioner subjects the mortal Captain America to a pressure equal to 100 times the force of gravity.
This will prevent you from interfering with us any more today. No human can feel it and remain conscious.
See, I think that's an error there. That speech bubble is supposed to be going to Executioner.
Quickly! Put Captain America out of the ship. We'll need all our speed. The Avengers are coming after us. Hurry! They'll reach us in seconds.
Moving with surprising speed, the Executioner leaves the unconscious Avenger on the rooftop and carries the Enchantress into Zemo's ship, bolting the hatch door shut behind him. And then...
We saved Zemo from Captain America just in time.
No one can stop us now. Here we go.
But the fleeing triumvirate of evil failed to reckon with the awesome power of Thor's hammer and the raging fury of his anger.
Spin, my mighty mallet! Spin! And cause an all-consuming space warp!
A space warp big enough to absorb Zemo's entire ship and the merciless beings within it. Thor, what did you do? Where is Zemo's ship going to end up? None can say. A space warp can lead anywhere, to a different city or a different universe. What about Cap? How is he?
He's coming to now. Don't worry. He'll be good as new in a few minutes.
That is fortunate for us. We shall soon need all our strength. If the Enchantress is among us, then the Executioner must be also. Their power is greater than any mortal can suspect. Together with Zemo, they may be as strong as we.
No matter how strong they are, we'll find them. And when we do,
Nothing will save them.
Nothing!
And when they do, as indeed they will, you'll be there too, sharing all the thrills and excitement. This is our pledge to you, in this, the glorious new Marvel Age of Comics. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.